speckly and patchy and a bit divotty as well. A bit of green I'm seeing on the pitch.
There's always just a little tinge on the surface at the Gabba. And just repeating the news, the breaking bad news for the Brisbane Heat. A late withdrawal. Chris Lynn Sanity, their big hitter, their captain, their gun, hurt his hamstring in the warm-up and is out and has been replaced by Simon Malenko. Now, Malenko's listed at 3 in their batting order. That's a little bit too high for my liking, but we'll see later in the night when they come out to chase whatever the Adelaide Strikers can post.
Yep, absolutely. So the Brisbane Heat will come out and bowl first, and we'll see the likes of Benny Lachlan and Mark Steketee bowling up first. Well, Steketee's still in mid-20s, but feels like he's been around for a while. But Benny Lachlan's certainly been around for a while. And
he's in his mid-60s.
He's in his mid-60s, leading wicket taker in BBL history, Ben Lachlan. But he'll be disappointed after the other night. None for 56 he gave up in that match, the Brisbane Heat against the Sydney Thunder. So he'll be looking for a bit of personal revenge tonight, just to get, at least in his own mind, a bit of good form back in the arm.
No doubt about that. And as I said, Xavier Bartlett is one I'm excited about. He swung the ball early in the first game I watched him bowl. He didn't play in the last one. So glad that he gets an opportunity again tonight as the Adelaide Strikers openers make their way to the wicket. The left and right combination, Jake Weatherald, boy from the Northern Territory that's now down Adelaide, very confident. He's got the Stewie Law strut about him. Stewie Law used to be captain of Queensland, for our listeners that don't know. And look at the way Jake Weatherald just strides the wicket like peacock feathers, chest out. And Phil Salt, the Englishman, he's not backwards in coming forward either. And that's the way that these two play. They take it on with an assault, if you like, at the top of the order. And it will be interesting to see what this wicket does. You're right, there is just not a little tinge of green on the surface. So we might see some good pace and bounce early on. What do we got? We've got Bartlett, Steketee, Lachlan, the 3 quicks. The Wildebeest is in there to bowl his medium paces. Mm-hmm. They've got plenty of options. Malenko can bowl medium pace. And obviously the spinner is Mujib Ram. He is world-class, Mujib, and I'm glad that he's back in the Brisbane Heat lineup. So a lot to look forward to. Strikers in the middle, and we're about to get underway. What game are we up to? I've lost track of it. Big Bash game number?
13 tonight.
Number 13, is it?
Yep.
Unlucky for some. Unlucky for Chris Lynn, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so indeed, yeah, Chris Lynn not in the team tonight, as we mentioned a moment ago, out with that left hamstring injury, which he did in the warm-up. So they are looking a little light now in the batting stakes, the Brisbane Heat, but they'll have to worry about that later on. They are chasing. They won the bat flip and elected to bowl first, and so the Adelaide Strikers, with Jake Weatherald out there, ready to face the first delivery, and Phil Salt opening the batting, getting themselves ready to try and set themselves up for win number 2 this season, the Adelaide Strikers.
Looks like Bartlett's going to open the bowling as well, which big, strong lad, swings the ball away from the right-hander. So Weatherald will have to be conscious early here. If Bartlett gets his line right, he'll actually be curling back in towards Jake Weatherald's peg. So he's got to be on song early.
All right, Xavier Bartlett does have the new ball. The batsmen are just getting themselves ready. The umpires are scanning the rest of the field to make sure we are all clear to go. There was a late change in the umpires as well. It was meant to be Greg Davidson, but David Taylor's made the late inclusion in, and Tony Wilds is our other umpire.
Did he do his hamstring in the bar?
He might have. Xavier Bartlett is in, right arm over, batting to bowling to Jake Weatherald, I beg your pardon, who chops that one down into point, slaps it away for a short single, and does bring Phil Salt on to strike. So 1 run off the first delivery. And now the Englishman will face up to Xavier Bartlett, who his first Sheffield Shield game earlier this season, Xavier Bartlett against Tasmania, took figures of 4 and 3 in both of those innings, and then and was pretty much sort of locked in, I guess, as a regular for the first part of the Sheffield Shield season for the Queensland Bulls.
I like it. I like what I see. Strong body, swings the ball out.
Bartlett comes in again. That's just beaten the outside edge of Phil Salt's bat, trying to drive that through the covers, and it's just gone past the toe edge of the bat through to the wicketkeeper and captain stand-in tonight, Jimmy Pearson.
Presents a beautiful seam, nice action, strong front arm, and controls his wrist behind the ball, giving it maximum chance to swing up. I'm very impressed. I've only seen him a couple of times, Xavier Bartlett, but Beware slips, beware Phil Salt, outswing.
The 22-year-old Bartlett, this time it's on the stumps, on the knees of Salt, who has to turn it around through square leg, and they pick up a single. He's from South Australia as well, originally Xavier Bartlett, so facing the team that from the state he was born in, but did move to Queensland very young, onto the Gold Coast. So at the age of 7, I think he made the move to Queensland.
I don't remember him when I was in Adelaide, so I thought, gee, I missed one there, but you're telling me he left when he was 7, so it makes me feel a little better, Geordie. I thought, gee, I didn't know he was under our nose.
Bartlett in again. That one's hit the thigh pad. There was a half appeal for maybe leg before, but the umpires aren't interested, as Weatherald was trying to twirl that one through the leg side. Got no run in the end.
Wasn't quite short enough there. Often at the Gabba it does bounce up a little high, but that one stayed down, got him in the back leg thigh pad, if you like. Was probably bouncing over the stumps. Half an appeal. Weatherald knew he was pretty safe.
None for 2 at the moment. 2 balls to come in the Bartlett over. Weatherald on strike is on 1. That one's hit the pad again. Is that leg before? Yes, it is. That one is out, and Xavier Bartlett has a wicket in the first over, and Jake Weatherald has to go for just 1 run.
Well, I did say, Geordie, beware the left-hander with the ball curling back into the pads. Poorly played by Weatherald, poor construction. He's an outswing bowler, so he's going to be an in-swing bowler to the left-hander, and Weatherald was like a sitting duck. Stood on the crease, the ball curled back in, hit him in the knee roll. Well bowled, young man. I'm just so impressed with this. Xavier Bartlett, remember the name.
Yep. Yes, no, I agree. He's showed promising signs already in the Sheffield Shield, and now he's doing it here in the Big Bash. So Jake Weatherald has to go with 1 ball to come in the over. A wicket for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash, scottpack.com.au, and it brings out Matt Renshaw into the middle to face the majority of his teammates from the Queensland Shield sides, now with the in the Brisbane Heat team, but Renshaw made the move from the Heat to the Strikers.
Now another left-hander. So just get the megaphone and yell out, watch out for the in-swinger. Get your front pad out of the way. Renshaw's normally a clever player. Left-hander, he needs to take leg stump guard, not middle stump, so he can actually access the ball, Jordan, with his bat. Do not get your front pad across and get hit in the pad.
So he's getting himself set out in the middle, Matt Renshaw. At the other end, Phil Saltz has just the 1 run. The Strikers 1 for 2. 1 ball to come in this Xavier Bartlett over.
Blow his front pad off.
Here he comes, right arm over the wicket, and that one's gone down leg side.
Let him off. Maybe tried too hard. That's a wide too.
Yeah, big wide. We're about a foot behind the legs of Matt Renshaw. So I'll have to have another go here.
Steamed up, the young man. I think he sensed the opportunity. He was sensing what I was talking about, but he pushed too hard and actually missed down the leg side. But he's actually still got the ball in his hand, shaping for an in-swing. I was going to say, it'd be nice if he could actually roll one the other way.
Bartlett is in, and that one does swing back in on the left-handed Renshaw, but misses off stump on the way through. Good tight line from the right-hand bowler to the left-hand batsman, and it's the Adelaide Strikers after the first over, a 1 for 3.
SEN Track is the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing. And each Saturday you can watch it online. Saturday Trackside is on live stream on the SEN app, on your mobile via Twitch, your computer or smart TV. The banter, the fun, the expert analysis and horse racing tips. Simon O'Donnell, Dave Taggart and co bring it all to the table. Saturday Trackside. Watch the live stream this Saturday. SEN Track, the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
1 for 3 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp spirit. Jordan Canellis and our Western Union expert, Darren Berry, with you. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. And Jack Wildermuth is going to have a bowl from the other end here for the Brisbane Heats, opening things up. So interesting they didn't use Ben Lachlan or Mark Steckety to open the bowling. Bartlett at one end, and now Wildermuth right arm over at the other end to Salt, who tries to crunch that one through the covers but finds the fielder Max Bryant for a dot ball.
Well, they've gone with the swing bowler. Wildermuth can curl the new ball around. That's why they're trying to get maximum benefit, while the shiny Kookaburra's got just a little bit of lacquer on it to get a bit of swing. Steckety and Lachlan are more experienced. They can bash the wicket through the middle overs. So I can see what they're doing here, trying to get a couple of early wickets.
Jack Wildermuth making the move over from the Melbourne Renegades. Plenty of Renegades players Coming over to the Brisbane Heat and vice versa as well, as he bowls into Salts, who this time turns it around into square. And we'll get one to bring Renshaw back on strike. So Phil Salt up to 2. Matt Renshaw yet to get off the mark. The Strikers 1 for 4. Here in this opening power play, the first 4 overs for tyre power, your trusted tyre experts.
Another couple of early wickets. The adage is if you can get 3 in the power play, now that's been reduced. There used to be 3 wickets in the first 6. You win 75% of your matches there. Now the power play, obviously, with the power surge, is back to 4 overs, and then the batting team can select 2 overs of their choice later in the innings. So first 4 overs, you want to use bowlers that can strike, try and put the batting team on the back foot. They've got one early. Weatherall's gone. Wildermuth now to Renshaw.
One slip in place. Wildermuth and Renshaw is defending that one into the offsides. Dot ball. Just the 1 run off the over so far.
Phil Salt's got a big role now for Adelaide Strikers.
Absolutely, he does. We have spoken at times.
He teases us, I think, Phil Salt.
Yes, he made 28 last time around.
We need a bit more pepper in with the salt.
A couple of days ago against the Sydney Sixers, and probably was given an unfair dismissal as well, as Wildermuth is in again. That one's on the toes of Renshaw and flicked away into the leg side, and they get 1. Yeah, he was so-called caught behind off the bowling of Dan Christian, Phil Salt.
Off his leg.
28, but yes, the ball came off the upper part of the thigh pad, or it was the knee roll it might have been, and went through to Josh Philippi.
We've had a couple of stinkies in the Big Bash. No DRS.
Yeah.
Last night was the worst I've seen. That was... My wife knows nothing about cricket, and I was watching it, and she said, I heard it, I saw it. How come it's not out? I said, that's a very good question, dear.
Wildermuth is in off the tail of the bat this time from Phil Salt. He drags it into the leg side, didn't get much connection, and
that was a howler, wasn't it?
Rolls to Malenko. It really was.
And then you know the worst part about it, Geordie, and this is what I don't even know what umpire it was, to be honest, so I'm not having to go at the umpire. They're out there to do their best. They don't need to make mistakes. They don't mean to make mistakes. It was a massive nick. Noise heard, deflection taken. He then tried to justify his poor decision because I think he thought, I might have missed one.
Yeah.
Then he tried to tell AJ Ty, I thought his bat hit the ground. His bat was 2 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
So that made it even worse.
Making excuses as Wildermuth is in. Good line on that delivery. It's right on the top of off stump. And Matt Renshaw can do no more than defend. So Renshaw on 1, Salt on 3. 3 off that over. And the Strikers are 1 for 6.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. That means if you're a chippy, IMAR's got you covered. And not just you. Insure with IMAR and they'll cover your subbies as well. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMAR now. That's 134627.
You're the tradies' mate. That's IMAR.
Bartlett back into bowl for the Brisbane Heat. He took the wicket of Jake Weatherall in his previous over, the opening over. Right arm over. It's gone down leg side. Was there a noise on the way through? It was wide anyway.
Well, there was a noise, but the umpire didn't think so. Now, just have a look at Xavier Bartlett on screen there. Does he I've been watching it, and I think he reminded me of someone. Who is it? It's a sportsman of another sport, not a cricketer, Geordie. You're a sports lover.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't played at the elite level for a fair while, but he was a very talented Australian sportsman. Have a look at his head and just see if you can get it.
Bartlett's in again. That's on off stump and crunched back by Phil Salt, and they'll run a single.
It was a nice shot.
Didn't leave the ring. Well fielded coming around. There was Benny Lachlan, but they get 1.
Tall and strong, like the player that I think he looks like. Big, thick eyebrows, like the player that I think he looks like. Person I'm talking about is married to also an international sports woman.
He does. His face does look familiar, actually.
Is it?
Xavier Bartlett, if you're trying to think about someone else, but I can't pick who it is.
Right, I'm thinking basketball.
In comes Bartlett again. Oh, off the bottom edge of the bat.
Before your time, actually, Joe. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Is that all? So you're just a baby. No, 25. No, you probably won't even know the person I'm talking about. Famous Australian basketballer. Married to a famous Australian tennis player. I've blown you out, haven't I?
Yeah, now that's confused me even more.
Melbourne Tigers basketballer. Mark Bradkey.
Oh, right,
Mark
yes.
Bradkey. That's who I think his head looks a bit like.
Okay.
Oh, that
Bartlett's it. Oh, that's
got a bottom edge there. I think he's got a bottom edge.
hit the pad of Phil Salt as he was trying to twirl around and hit it through the leg side. Missed it with the bat, so we think it might have just caught the bit of willow on the edge through, but hit his calf in line with the stumps as well.
The big bear, Mark Bradkey. That's who I reckon he looks like. Andrew Gaze will be tuning in tonight. He's a avid listener of SEN, so tell me if there's a bit of Mark Bradkey in this big, strong bear.
Bartlett in to Salt. That one was following down leg side. Squirts off the bat and pad, and they pick up one.
Get inside edge on that or a leg by? George, I'm not sure. Might have just got a little tickle.
Perhaps. I reckon that was all leg by. Yeah, I reckon the...
You got Bradkey up on your screen?
I've got Bradkey there.
Got to get a younger version when, you know, you've probably got an older version there.
Something like that. Ish.
Eyebrows.
Yeah.
Big, thick, bushy eyebrows.
And he's got the
teeth.
Yeah, the thick brown hair as well. It's a good mop that he's got. That one's down leg side again.
Just with a wide.
Bartlett was a leg by that previous delivery, so 2 wides in this over.
He's actually bowled 3 wides. So whilst I'm singing his praises, take the good with the bad. He's a swing bowler, but he's missed a couple. Missed a couple of times.
The Bradkeys have a son playing football as well, Austin,
and
good basketball.
Someone just said I should check my glasses. He looks nothing like Bradkey. It's probably Gazy.
Bartlett is in. That's been cut behind point by Renshaw. Dabs it down to a third man to pick up a single. It's going at a reasonably slow pace here, the Adelaide Strikers, to get started. 1 for 12 with 1 ball to come in this third over. The power play for Tyre Power. Summer Scorcher Sail.
He looks like Bradkey. Come on, that. They didn't put his name on that text message that came in. You need a name so I can refer to you. You've got mine. Let me have yours. Get Mark Bradkey up on your screen, and there's a look-alike. Xavier Bartlett, Mark Bradkey. You're not seeing it either, George, are you? Maybe I better check my glasses. So last ball of the third over. Strikers are 1 for 12.
Bartlett into Salt, fuller delivery that time, and that's flicked off the tail of the bat by Salt down to mid-on. Gets a single, so there are plenty of runs in that over. Most of them singles, and a couple of extras in there as well from Xavier Bartlett. End of the third, and the Strikers are 1 for 13.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
You're not on, George. You've been switched off.
There is a resemblance there, I was going to say, between Bartlett and Bradkey. I do agree with you.
Thank you, George.
He's got a bit of the jawline as well. Bradkey, though, Xavier Bartlett's very clean-shaven. Whereas Bradkey, in all the photos I'm looking of with Bradkey, he's got a bit of stubble. Just a very, very, very light shade.
What's this one here? I'm 26. I was all over Mark Bradkey, married to a tennis star. Are you a sports reporter? Seriously, study up, Chief. Twigs from Cranbourne.
Oh, mate.
Come on, Twigs.
Steckerty's in, right arm over, and that's been pulled away into the leg side by Phil Sott. That's a great shot all the way down to the rope for 4.
He got that early, picked it up early, got the length and got it in front of square for 4. So, who's me man? Twigs from Cranbourne. Now,
Twigs, that's soft, mate. Go harder.
Yeah, I married a girl from Cranbourne.
That's barely an insult, Twigs, mate.
Be nice, Twigs. I married a girl from Cranbourne. You shouldn't be sledging me. I've just checked with my guide dog, and apparently they look nothing alike, so I'm not getting a lot of love from like Mark Bradkey look-alike, so I think I'll leave that one. Let that go through to the keeper, George.
Phil Salt, 9 off 10. As Steckerty's in again. He's pulled him away. This time it catches the bottom edge of the bat. Still with a bit of pace in the outfield, though. That was a clean part of the outfield. I know divots on the way through there, and they did run 2.
Too short, Steckerty, in his first 2 deliveries. Allowed Salt to play 1, a cracking pull shot in front of square. The second one he didn't get quite as well, Geordie, but 6 off the first 2 balls. Just giving the Strikers, just breathed a little bit of life into their slow start.
1 for 19, the Strikers. Steckerty bowling right arm over to the right-handed Salt. That's come off the leading edge, but it will go all the way over the infield, and in fact, it will bounce down, luckily, to Whitish third man for 4.
Well,
Had no idea where that one was going. Phil Salt, who was trying to glance it into the leg side, caught the leading edge and came off the other side of the bat and into the offside for a boundary.
yep, he tried to turn that, and you're right, he got a leading edge and flew away to that third-man boundary, just a couple of bounces. Just getting back to me mate Twigs, because he's upset me a little bit. He's saying married to a tennis star? Yeah, Nicole Bradke. I mean, Twigs, you better do your research, buddy.
Dot ball there. So was he having a go at you for your knowledge or for me for not knowing Mark Bradke? I do know who Mark Bradke is. I just couldn't pick the face.
Oh, maybe he's having a go at you. Yes, Twigs, that's better. He's having a go at you because he's saying he's 26 when you said you were 25.
Yeah, that's what I think is.
I'm all over Bradke married to that's better. He's having a go at you.
Doesn't mean I don't know Mark Bradke. I just couldn't pick the resemblance at the time. That's all that meant.
We digress at the moment. Salt's picking Steckity off beautifully.
2 bounces off the over. They'll take on the mid-off fielder, though, and they had to run and get back quick.
Would have been out if he hit, I reckon.
Ben Lachlan had a good shot at the bowler's end, and that's only missed by a couple of feet, and Salt had to come tumbling in to get the single. They ran it in the end.
Love to see the replay. I reckon a direct hit here from Ben Lachlan would have had Salt on his way. He was struggling. Oh, he would have been out.
Out by less than a foot.
So a chance missed there by Benny Lachlan. And a reprieve for the Salt man. That brings Renshaw back on strike. Last ball of the 4th over. Last ball of the designated power play, Geordie.
Correct. 1 for 24 at this moment.
Bit behind. They love a boundary off this to finish.
Yeah.
Renshaw on strike, the left-hander.
Bit of a shuffle in the fields as Steckity is in. That one's caught the pad of Renshaw, who was trying to pull it away into the leg side, mistimed the shot and drops down to his feet for a dot ball. So a good way to end that over from Mark Steckity. And at the end of the 4th, at the end of the tyre power play, know your tyres, it's 1 for 24.
Visit your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store for all your professional painting needs. With over 230 locations around Australia, you can be confident we have the right tools to help you get the job done. Our trade stores have all the commercial paint and accessories you'll need, as well as the best expert trade staff who are on hand to give great advice and quick service. When it comes to your next paint job, head to your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store.
Strikers are 1 for 24 in this BBL 10 game. It is the 13th match of the Big Bash. 1 for 24 on the scoreboard for Suncorp. That's the Suncorp spirit. You can send in your texts on the Big Bash Nation open line, 0433 98 11 16. Happy to converse all the way through the match.
Ange from Sydney. You can see the likeness with Bradke, but she thinks Xavier's more clean-shaven. That is a good observation, Ange.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that. Bradke always had a little bit of the 2 o'clock shadow and definitely more clean-shaven and keep those texts coming. Bit of abuse coming, which is good as well. But one's a positive, the next one smacks you back, Geordie. Both to me. One saying Chuck's going well, the other one saying Chuck's got no idea, basically. So that's what we love about people's opinions.
That's standard. That's run-of-the-mill for a radio text line.
1 for 24 off 4 is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Phil Salt is, what's he doing? Regripping his bat, looks like.
Well, again, he's teasing us, Salt, 16 off 14. He needs to go big for the... I mean, like, not 38 off 28, yeah, good innings. Salt needs to give us an 80-plus here tonight and actually really take charge for his team.
No, Alex Carey in the side, so 2 big players out for both teams. Alex Carey didn't make the border closure in time, so he is unable to play at this moment for the Adelaide Strikers. And Chris Lynn, if you've just joined us, pulled out right before the match. He did a hamstring. Looked like just a light one, but still a hamstring is a hamstring. And so Chris Lynn out of the match in the warm-up. So 2 big hitting players, 1 for each team out of this encounter as Jack Wildermuth will continue for the Brisbane Heat, bowling right arm over to the right-handed Phil Salt, who will start by dabbing this one into the leg side. They were looking for 2, but they weren't not adventurous enough to take on the fielder coming in off the rope. So 1, Salt is 16 off 14, and Matt Renshaw is 3 off 7.
So the field spreads now outside the power play. Only 4 overs now. That's the change this year from previous years in the Big Bash, which was the first 6 overs. Now only 4 overs where the designated power play, 2 men outside that inner circle. The field can now be spread to have as many as 5 until the batting side after the 11th, is it, George, they can call?
Yep.
For a 2 over power surge.
Wildermuth is in, and that one's cut behind point by Renshaw. They'll get one. Just soft hands behind the stumps. Still hasn't, just getting his eye in at the moment, Matt Renshaw, but needs to go quickly though. Haven't got too much time to get your eye in T20 cricket. 1 for 26 here, the Strikers. Matt Renshaw, highest score in his T20 career, 90 not out. Stats for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux, so we know he can go big. Phil Salt back, facing up to Wildermuth. Right arm over. That's got the leading edge again from Salt. Stays on the ground. Again, they come in for a dangerous run.
Goodness me.
Salt is sliding back. This time it was Steckity with the underarm shy at the bowler's end, and Salt once again survives.
I reckon another half run-out chance here. Steckity was side on, and he had to sort of do the Jonty Rhodes pick up and fling. And again, if he hits, he's out. They've missed Salt twice. That was a little harder, that one, than Benny Loughlin's. But 2 chances, 2 run-out chances. If you get 2 chances, you want to take at least one of them, Geordie. The old 50% rule with run-outs, I reckon.
Wildermuth in to Renshaw, pulling that through square leg. There's a fielder coming in on the leg side boundary, and he slides in to save it and gets just a single, but it was a good shot from Renshaw. Now starting to feel it a little bit more. That previous ball, though, it was one stump that he was aiming at. He was coming in completely side on, Mark Steckity, but he picked it up. He was only about, 5 metres away from the stump, so he was pretty close. And
Full
he's
stretched, Phil Salt. But it was definitely, he's missed it by a fair way on the replay.
Yeah. So Salt has survived 2 pretty close run-outs as Wildermuth is in. That one's off the toe of the bat from Renshaw. They'll again take on the bowler, and this time Ben Loughlin direct hit, but I reckon
he's home.
I reckon he's home. They'll have a look though. Third umpire will be brought in here.
So third time lucky, they hit the stump. Salt's risking every time he hits, he's taking off. Loughlin direct hit, but we think from the naked eye that Salt might have made this one. He didn't have to dive.
So we're looking at the side-on replay, and
he's made it easy.
Yeah, he's in.
Made it easy.
Tip of the bat still down. Yep. Good throw though, still from inside the ring from Ben Loughlin. So both the fast bowlers have had a couple of shots at the stumps. And the sign will go up on the big scoreboard here in the Gabba at the stadium, and that is not out. So Phil Salt again survives, and Matt Renshaw back on strike on 5. Salt on 19. 1 ball to come in the Jack Wildermuth over. 5 singles off it so far. Right arm over to the left-handed Renshaw, who goes for the big heave into the leg side, and this time misses. Big swish.
Over.
And through to the keeper. End of the 5th. The Strikers are 1 for 29.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
The Gabba is the venue tonight for game number 13 of BBL 10, and Mujibur Rahman will come on, the Afghan spinner, for the Brisbane Heat. So we'll see some spin for the first time tonight. Xavier Bartlett taking the only wicket of the innings so far, taking Jake Weatherald's wicket for just 1 run off 3 balls in the first over of the match. The other opener, Phil Salt, is 19 off 17 balls faced, and Matt Renshaw is out there coming in at number 3, 5 off 10.
This will be a good contest, Jordan, because Phil Salt, I don't reckon, is a great reader of spin, and Mujib is a mystery spinner.
Yeah, listed as an off spinner, but he can bowl left, he can bowl right, he can bowl forward, and that one is going to go down the ground from Salt, in the air a little bit in the offside, but luckily he got it through a gap in the field and bounces down to Loughlin on the rope for 1.
So he's got the left and right hander in combination here, Renshaw and Salt, and Mujib bowls a variety. Uses his fingers to flick them out, off spin. He can use his third finger and bowl leggies, so he's got them both covered, and it's a common theme in this format now. There's a lot of them around that do that type of thing. Not just your traditional offie or leggy, Jordan. If you can spin it both ways with a bit of mystery about you, you make a lot of money around the world.
Najeeb is in, reverse sweeping and just avoiding the fielder.
So lucky.
Matt Renshaw managed to split the gap between two fielders at short fine leg and backward points, and how do you work that out? Is that backward square leg? Because he did the reverse sweep, so what do they become after that? Anyway, he gets the 4.
Tell you what he got is lucky. That's
yeah.
what he got, because to split the gap there wasn't a big gap.
Short third man and backward point it was. If he was hitting that one normally. Got the boundary for the TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind, TAC, and a single off the next ball. Yeah, and that was in the air a little bit through the ring.
High risk, but he got the reward.
Salt facing again. Najeeb is in. No real spin on that one as it was a fuller delivery, and Salt is hitting that into the leg side down the grounds for a simple single.
I know this game happens quick and it's hard to sort of get any pieces of commentary into it, but interesting for Najeeb, he's got to the right-hander all his men out on the leg side, which would suggest then he's got to be bowling leg spin. Otherwise, it's just an easy run to nudge it into the leg side.
That ball from Najeeb is tailing down leg side. Renshaw chases it and picks up a single again. So 4 singles plus a boundary off the over so far. 1 ball to come.
So just repeating for our listeners, Najeeb Rahman is a mystery spinner. He's a finger spinner and can go either way.
That's hit the pad of Phil Salt. It was going down leg side. He's missed it with his final ball of the over, Najeeb, and Phil Salt missed the shot as well. Ends the 6th over, and the Strikers are 1 for 37.
SEN Track is the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing. And each Saturday you can watch it online. Saturday Trackside is on live stream on the SEN app, on your mobile via Twitch, your computer or smart TV. The banter, the fun, the expert analysis and horse racing tips. Simon O'Donnell, Dave Taggart and co bring it all to the table. Saturday Trackside. Watch the live stream this Saturday. SEN Track, the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
The Gabba is the venue. The Adelaide Strikers were sent into bat first after Brisbane won the bat flip. Chose to bowl. No Chris Lynn tonight, out in the warm-up with a left hamstring. So, big blow for the Brisbane Heat, who are yet to get a win in this BBL 10 campaign. Just the 2 games they've played so far, however, and they've lost both of them. And the Adelaide Strikers are 1 win from their 3 matches played. And now Ben Lachlan will come in to bowl his first over of the night for the Heat.
Some of our text messages coming through. This is a really good one to receive. Hi team, Scott from Penrith in Sydney. Really enjoying the BBL coverage. Thanks for the great commentary. As a blind listener, your coverage is most appreciated. Thank you to Scott.
Lachlan bowling, outsides off stump, and that's bounced up through to the point fielder. Crowd catch. Did take a bunt on the way through to Max Bryant.
I can't imagine not having your own vision, George. So if Scott's text message there, hopefully we can paint the picture the best we possibly can here at the Gabba tonight, the Strikers and the Heat. And I was always told when I first started my broadcasting, after I finished playing, always try and commentate like you are commentating to a blind person. Paint the picture. Let them know what is going on, both football and cricket. Who's doing what, when, what are they doing with it, what position.
Ben Lachlan's bowling to Matt Renshaw.
Look at that pull shot.
Left-handed batsman has pulled that all the way into the leg side. It's flown through 15 rows deep through mid-wicket. That is a 6 for Matt Renshaw. And the first 6 of the night.
They are, Scotty. That is a magnificent shot. Lachlan dropped it short into the wicket, and Renshaw swooped on it and smacked it over square leg for a massive 6.
That's a powerful stroke for Matt Renshaw. Got right underneath that, and that was still rising after it crossed the rope. Fantastic shot, Matt Renshaw for the TAC. On your phone, you are driving blind, TAC. Lachlan in again, right arm over. This time it's into the offside as he's driven it through Matt Renshaw. It won't reach the rope. They'll come back and get 2, though. The Adelaide Strikers batsman, the tall frame of Matt Renshaw galloping through. And Phil Salt, the Englishman, at the other end. So 8 runs off the over so far. 3 balls gone. Ben Lachlan doing the bowling. 38-year-old Ben Lachlan. Right arm over. That one's right on off stump for Matt Renshaw, who clips it into the leg side along the grounds, and they stroll through for one.
So Benny Lachlan, not at his best. I mean, he's certainly no youngster these days, Benny Lachlan. The most wickets ever taken in the Big Bash by this man. He got taken to task last game, the Sydney Thunder. Daniel Sams, didn't he make a mess of him? So he's going to have to hit back tonight.
Lachlan, full of delivery on the off stumps. So they're going to have to get back quickly again. He's hit that pretty short into the infield on the offsides. And to call Matt Renshaw back, it would come a long way out, backing up at the non-strikers, and he scrambled back in the end.
They got an overthrow there.
The throw that came in was pretty high, so they did get an overthrow.
Benny Lachlan looks angry to me. It's just not happening for him at the moment.
I don't think he hasn't taken a wicket yet, this Big Bash.
Well, he might be on his last legs tonight, Benny Lachlan. I hate saying that because he's a great competitor. I was lucky enough to coach him in Adelaide, and I love what he brought to the table.
Lachlan, that one's gone down leg side, but Renshaw gets there and flicks it behind square leg to pick up one, and he will retain the strike. End of the 7th over, and the Strikers are 1 for 48.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. That means if you're a chippy, IMAR's got you covered. And not just you. Insure with IMAR and they'll cover your subbies as well. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMAR now. That's 134627.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
Replay screens are showing the overthrow from that previous over, which went for 11, the most expensive over of the night for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux, all of our stats. Mark Steckety underarming it to Ben Lachlan and still overthrew it over Ben Lachlan's head.
The mistake he made there, for any youngsters listening, as he let go of the ball, he bent his elbow, Jordan. Just to explain that, as soon as you bend your elbow on a flat, stiff arm, underarm throw, you bend your elbow now in here, Jordan. Where's the ball going?
It's going to go up. Yeah.
So you have to underarm like a 10-pin bowling style. You got to keep a stiff arm.
Oh, Majib continues, beats the bat of Matt Renshaw, who's just dangled it outside off stump.
Does that make sense to you, George?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Because if you
10-pin bowling.
Yeah, you keep your elbow locked, so you keep a straight arm all the way through. And that way you've got more direction on where the ball's going.
Steckety's mistake was he bent the elbow.
Majib is in, reverse sweeping again, this time Matt Renshaw. Again to those two fielders at short third man backward point, but this time it's along the ground and a dot ball.
My man fielded it then, waiting for Judd to push the music, but we'll have to wait till he comes in to bat later on.
Renshaw this time clipping it into the leg sides. They get one, and they'll just settle for one. They thought about the second for a moment.
I know I'm probably only amusing myself, Geordie, and I'll be criticised for it again. But Jeff Vaughan, my assistant coach in Tasmania, he's now in Tasmania, but we're in Adelaide together. Great mate, great fellow, very good cricket coach, Jeff Vaughan. He's now coaching the Tassie Shield side. Mm-hmm. We both, we like Simon Malenko, Queensland. He's cool.
Coming down the wicket, Phil Salt. He's advanced to Majib, who's got it down to long on, and they'll take one. Thought about the single again, the double again on that occasion, but the throw came in pretty hot.
Malenko did really well against us. I think it might have been in a one-day game, and just out of the blue, I started singing that song to Jeff Vaughan, and he thought I was crazy that some sweet day I'll make him mine, Simon Malenko. Didn't know what I was talking about, just like Judd didn't know. Call this ball.
Majib, that was a leg spinner that time into the left-handed Renshaw, who gets it into the leg side, and they get a couple off that. 2 runs.
Another blind listener in Geelong. We've got a few blind men tuning in tonight. This one, Muzza. So, Muzz, we'll do our best to keep you enlightened to exactly what's happening here at the Gabba.
Renshaw's on 24, facing the last ball of this over. He blunts it into the offside. Mujib fields off his own delivery. They get one, and the throw did go past the stumps, but Ben Lachlan was backing up a little ways away. So they got 5 off that over, and the Strikers are 1 for 53.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
1-4-53 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp Spirit, our Western Union expert, Chuck Berry for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. And Ben Lachlan will continue. Conceded 11 runs off his first over. Right arm over to the left-handed Renshaw, who gets underneath it and drives it back down the ground for 4. In the air, a little lofted over the bowlers' heads. And then a couple of bounces down to the rope in front of the sight screen. And that's a boundary for the TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind, TAC. Renshaw's up to 29. Phil Salt's on 23. Good little partnership here between these Adelaide Strikers batsmen.
Never want to write off a champ of the game. And Ben Lachlan has been a champ of the T20 format. I'll get back to him after this ball.
Keeps it on the ground this time through squared leg. He turned on his crease, Matt Renshaw, and 270 all the way around for a single.
The thing that Ben Lachlan's always had is a really good change of pace, both up and down, so he can go with extra pace on the ball, and then his change of pace is a real contrast, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's lost a little bit of pace with his pace on ball.
Lachlan is in. Shorter delivery that time, a bit short, a bit slower. Salt did read it, though, and pulls it through square leg for the right-hander for 1.
Therefore, his change of pace is not as extreme, and I think he's becoming more predictable now. They sit back a lot to Ben Lachlan. He does bowl the ball into the wicket. In his early days, he swung the new ball, bowled full and quite fast. I reckon with his age, he's just dropped a few kilometres off his pace. The contrast is not as great, and he's not as effective.
He's in again here, a bit fuller this time to Renshaw, who's driven that one with a square drive through points and gets single, as Sam Heaslett does the fielding. So he's 38 now, Ben Lachlan. How long does he have left, at least in 2020s? Because he can still, I don't know, if you reach 39, 40, can you still play out a 2020 season, Big Bash?
So long as you're fit enough and you're staying in touch with the game, and if you're still playing club cricket, you can bring your skills to this as his slower ball here with his fingers rolled over.
Had a bit of swing on it as well, as Salters absolutely crunched that one back to the bowler. Stung the hand of Ben Lachlan, but he did well to stop it. Dot ball.
He's a pioneer in the game because of his variety. He's got 3 or 4 different slow balls. You can see that one there. It's like a fast off spinner, and he actually gets it to float away from the right-handed batsman. So he's a very skillful bowler, but probably getting towards the end of his career.
In again, last ball, shorter delivery that time, and that's gone on through to the wicketkeeper. No shot offered by Phil Salt. 9 overs down, and the Strikers are 1 for 60.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
1 for 60 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp Spirit. The only wicket of the night so far was way back in the first over. Here we are about to start the 10th. Xavier Bartlett took the wicket of Jake Weatherald. 1 of 3 were the figures for Jake Weatherald, opening for the Strikers. And Xavier Bartlett, I suppose, with that wicket, would be one of our contenders for Rookie of the Night for MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. 22 years old in his first season of Big Bash cricket, Xavier Bartlett. So he's right there in the running.
We haven't got too many other contenders at the moment, Jordan.
No, there isn't.
So Steckety's back on for his second over. Expensive in his first. He went for 11. Now 2 set batsmen. Renshaw 31, Salt 24.
Steckety, right arm over to the left-handed Renshaw on 31. That one's a bit fuller and jammed up on the outside edge of Renshaw's bat. That one runs down to third man for a single. Renshaw on 32. Phil Salt now back on strike. 24 off 25 for the English opener tonight.
Bit behind the pace, I reckon, the Strikers at the moment. 61 off 10, not enough. You always want to be up around 80 off the 10 mark in this T20 format, so you can really launch at the back 10. But 61, they're just a bit off the pace, the Strikers.
I was about to say that, yeah. Going at 6.6 is the current run rate for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux, as Salt's had a big swing at that and missed it entirely. Went under the toe of the bat, I think, that delivery from Steckety. Dot ball.
If he'd have connected, it would have gone out of Brisbane. He had an almighty heave at that. Launched himself, opened his hips a bit early and I think Steckity might have done him with a change of pace there.
Right underneath the bottom edge from Phil Salt, who's quickly got up to almost meet his total from the other night, 28 he scored against the Sixers. This one he's pulled away through square leg along the grounds for another single. It's been a little while since they've hit regular boundaries. They did hit one in the previous over at the start, and then before that it was 2 overs prior when Matt Renshaw hit his 6. And before that you have to look back a while until their previous boundary prior to all of that. So it's been very few and far between tonight. 2 4s apiece for each of these batsmen, Salt and Renshaw, and then Renshaw has a 6 as well. And he's facing here, and that one's through the air, and it's caught.
Got him
at fine leg. Mark Steckity takes the wicket. Matt Renshaw goes for 32. Who took the catch?
Well, who did take the catch, Judd? Just see if Juddy's not quite... There he is. That's the one. On cue, straight down Simon Malenko's motorboat down there, even though it was Jack Wildermuth. Come on, Judd, you're supposed to be on the ball with me.
You've both gone early.
Jack Wildermuth, so we've pushed the Simon Malenko button early. I'm blaming Judd, he's blaming me.
At least you've scratched the itch.
We know what the answer is. Renshaw's gone, and the Strikers are a little bit behind the 8 ball now. 9.4 overs, 2 for 64, Jordan.
Yep, 32 he goes for Matt Renshaw. So it was a decent partnership. They were managed to be out there together for 9 and a bit overs, almost 9 overs exactly, but it was a partnership. They just ticked along maybe a little slower than what they would have liked. 6.5 and over is the current run rate. You want to be aiming up for around 7 or 8 at least to get up to that 80 run-ish mark by the halfway mark of the innings, and there are definitely more than a few runs short of that at this stage, as John O'Wells is out in the middle.
He's one of my favourites, John O'Wells, and he's someone that I think over the last few years, Jordan, could seriously be considered for an Australian role. He's sort of, not a big name, Tasmanian Shield cricketer, gone over to Adelaide for the Big Bash. His record over the last few years has been outstanding. He normally likes a few balls to get himself in, but he's been batting a little bit lower. So, look, he's got 10 overs to bat here.
Steckity has the wicket. He's got 2 more balls in this over. Shorter ball. Salt right up in the air. Should be a catch. Is a catch.
Dumb Salt.
Caught and bowled.
Next ball.
Steckity got right underneath it. It went a mile in the air. It never deviated off the line of the batting crease, so it went straight up and down. And Mark Steckity's come in to take the caught and bowled, and he's on a hat-trick. Salt goes for 25.
Yeah, that's where, look, Phil Salt again, he's teased us. They just lost a wicket, and the very next ball he plays a sort of half cross the line swipe, and he's caught and bowled, and he's dropped his team right in the quagmire now. 2 wickets in 2 balls. The Heat have taken the lead in this game. There's still 1 ball left, and Steckity's going to be on a hat-trick.
Yep, they are now they are in a bit of strife here, the Adelaide Strikers. So not only was there, they've batted, that opening, or not the opening partnership, but the Salt and Renshaw partnership went along pretty well. But now they've both gone, and they could have made it definitely a few more runs. Not enough boundaries from the first 10, and now it's all combining together, about 20 runs short of what they'd like to be in 2 wickets in 2 balls.
I know you don't, in Big Bash, you don't get time to sort of rebuild and recover after a wicket. I understand that, absolutely. But Phil Salt played a nothing shot there. It was just, He didn't really try and go at it, did he? He bunted it up in the air. It was a really strange dismissal.
He sort of clubbed it like a baseball shot.
Yeah. So Steckity now on a hat-trick, and Short's going to be, I would imagine, did the batsman cross? Maybe they crossed Jordan in the air there. Yeah,
Yes, they did.
So Wells is on strike for the hat-trick.
John O'Wells to face his first ball. Mark Steckity on a hat-trick with a slip in place, right arm over, on middle stump, and it's turned away into the leg side by John O'Wells, who gets a single and will retain the strike. Well, no hat-trick there, but he got 2 in a row, and the game has changed now. End of the 10th over, and the Adelaide Strikers are 3 for 63.
Visit your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store for all your professional painting needs. With over 230 locations around Australia, you can be confident we have the right tools to help you get the job done. Our trade stores have all the commercial paint and accessories you'll need, as well as the best expert trade staff who are on hand to give great advice and quick service. When it comes to your next paint job, head to your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store.
The Renshaw and Salt partnership broken up. Matt Renshaw gone for 32 off 28 balls and Phil Salt gone for 25 off 28 balls, both by Mark Steckety, the right-arm bowler for the Brisbane Heat. In that previous over, the wickets both falling for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. 3 for 63 is the current score for Suncorp. That's the Suncorp spirit as the teams have their mid-innings break. So 3 for 63. The Bash Boosts target will be 64 for the Brisbane Heat in the run chase, and that will be sans Chris Lynn, who was out in the warm-up with a left hamstring injury. The captain not out there tonight for the Brisbane Heat.
Interesting there, Jordan. Cameron White out at the Adelaide Strikers huddle. He's I don't know whether he's still on their list, but he's gone into the coaching ranks, obviously.
He has. He's not on their list anymore, but no, he's one of the assistant coaches.
And Jason Gillespie, the head coach, I like that. He's handed over the responsibilities. Cameron White, highly experienced player in this format of the game, and he's out there having some instructions. No doubt his words to his team would be, well, we're a bit behind the 8 ball here. 150 ain't going to be enough at the Gabba. They've got to get 175, and from here it's going to take a really, really big effort. So the other side of the coin, Darren Lehman and Gavin Fatty Fitness walk from the ground, and James Hopes, who's been in a good paddock. Not that I can talk, but gee, James Hopes, what a great player he was for the Queensland Bulls and the Brisbane Heat. But he's stacked on a little bit, and they walk from the field. Now, how do we know whether they've made the sub change?
There's no real visual way. So for the fans, especially in the stadium, you probably won't know just by looking. I'm sure there'll be an announcement if it does happen.
They've got to come up with some visual, I reckon. He's got to come on with a vest, or there's got to be some way to identify.
We get told through our line of communication, so we'll know somehow. But
the X Factor player, we need some visual of that. I reckon they've got to have the vest on, and as they come on, you can, there's a flashing light on there. Something's got to happen. We need something.
A tag in like wrestling as Jack Wildermuth continues. He's bowling into his 3rd over now. And that's a dot ball to start off the bottom edge. Good figures so far, Wildermuth. 2 overs of his completed overs and none for 8.
Can't believe Judd out the back pushed that button. I said, wait till Malenko does something. And Wildermuth takes a catch, and old Judd pushes the button and just blew me out the water. So we'll have to have another shot later on, Judd.
Keep it there on cue, though, Judd. He'll definitely ask for it again.
I would have thought more than once, too.
Jono Wells is facing. Matt Short and Jono Wells are 2 batsmen out there now. No Alex Carey tonight as Wildermuth is in, bowling a little fuller to Wells, who prods it into the offside, and they scramble a single. The pocket-sized rocket of Jono Wells sprinted back and completed the 1 run. No Alex Carey, as he was basically blocked from entering Queensland with the next phase of the rolling hub in the Big Bash. Yes. Didn't make it out of New South Wales in time before the borders closed.
Stewie from Airport West, I don't know whether he's taken the mickey out of us or not. Just read that one in between balls if you can. About 3rd one down. Come back after this ball from Wildermuth.
Jack Wildermuth, right arm over to Matt Short facing his first delivery. Shorter ball, and Short puts that away into the leg side. That's a good shot. He's pulled that all the way around for 4.
A lot of shorts in that commentary, wasn't there?
Was.
Short ball, short on strike, and short arm jab.
To the short boundary.
Short boundary, and it was a lovely pull shot for 4.
With a TAC on your phone, you're driving blind TAC. You want me to read this out?
Yeah, 3rd one down, please.
You won't believe it, Chuck, but I've just pulled out some Christmas wrapping paper to do some presents, and the first roll I grabbed has pink flamingos on it, bright pink flamingos on it. Cheers, Stuart in Airport West. Something spooky going on here.
There is.
Christmas miracle. Wildermuth bowling again to Short. This time it's a bit better of a length, but again, he pulls it around behind square leg. Mark Bradkey fields on the boundary, and they get to 2.
Just getting a look at Chris Lynn earlier in the night. Unfortunately, if you've just joined us a little bit late, you might have been out for dinner. And Chris Lynn, he won't be out for dinner because he's torn his hamstring, it appears, in the warm-up, and he's out of the lineup. So that really does hurt the Brisbane Heat. They're doing well at the moment, though. I'd rather be in the Heat's position than the Strikers right at this point in time into the 11th over.
Wildermuth bowling. That's on off stump and defended back down the wicket by Short. Played a straight flat bat at that and gave it back to the bowler. One ball to come in this over. 3 for 70 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp Spirit. Current run rate hasn't really moved. Still 6.5 at this moment for the Adelaide Strikers. Short and Wells out in the middle. Game number 13 of the Big Bash. Last before the Christmas break. No Big Bash tomorrow or on Friday, but back for Boxing Day as Wildermuth going down leg side. Was there a feather edge on that? Well, even if there was, it's still a wide.
Wicket keepers have made an art form of that. Whenever it goes down the leg side, always appeal just to try and bluff the umpire. Both the Heat bowler, Wildermuth and Pearson, were adamant it took something on the way past, but the umpire didn't have any of it. Put his arms up and he said, "That's a wide. I'm sorry, Jack. You're going to have to bowl that one again."
So we'll have another go at this. Looking at the replay.
Might have flicked his thigh pad.
Yeah, it might have.
On the way past.
Good shout from Jimmy Pearson, our man.
Yep. Keeper's keeper.
Spoke to him before the game. Wildermuth is in. That one's just outside off stump and played into the offside for a dot ball. So one boundary off that over, plus a double, a single and a wide. 11 overs gone. 3 for 71.
Hi, it's Doug the tradie. If you're a tradie like me, you need the correct insurance. It's easy with IMAR. They offer competitive premiums, instant cover and no paperwork. Go online, get an instant quote and pay the premium, or call an expert now on 13IMAR. You'll be covered in a few simple steps and ready to get on with the job. Visit imar.com.au today or call 13IMAR and get a quote, get covered, get working.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
The second half of this Adelaide Strikers innings, and they can take their power surge whenever they choose. Normally we see teams take it around overs between sort of 14 and 17 is normally the mark. Mujib is coming back into bowl for the Brisbane Heat. He's bowled 2 overs so far, figures of none for 13. The mystery spinner from Afghanistan, 19 years old, Mujibur Rahman.
Can't be 19. He's been playing for 8 years.
It feels like it, as his first one is
19. He's been in the Bash for 3 years.
Into the leg side. Well, that's what I've got, 19.
19. I don't know, some of those ages that come through, Jordan. Seriously. You told me at 25, you look 35. So. Judd out the back, he told me he's 21, he looks 12. He's the opposite. And pushed the wrong button.
Matt Short is facing up to Mujib. That's hit him on the front pad, but down leg side it did. Do you reckon just to go back to the previous over, do you reckon the wide down leg side is too strict? Do you reckon there should be at least a foot?
Well, that one actually hit his thigh pad, so it wasn't a wide, but I think there needs to be a little bit of leniency. I don't like anything down leg sides are wide. Those blue lines are there for a reason for me. You can still pick a ball up from 6 inches outside leg and whack it over square leg and fine leg. So, yeah, I do. I think the leg side wide is too fierce on the bowler in this format.
Dot ball previously, so here goes Matt Short getting down on one knee and crunching that one into the leg side. One bounce down to the rope for 4.
Good shot. Found the gap there, opened his front leg and knew where the gap was and hit the gap. That was the important part. He could have quite easily gone down the throat of the deep mid-wicket, but he hit a little bit straighter, so that's good game awareness. He knew where the gap was and opened his leg to make sure the swing of the bat got in that area.
Yeah, 2 fielders on that leg side rope and he got it right in between. And this time he is squeezing it away into the leg sides along the line of square leg for a single. 6 off the over so far. 1 ball to come. Gets through him very quickly, Mujib. 3 for 77 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp Spirit. First game at the Gabba of BBL 10. Mujib is in, last ball, and that one's pulled away in the air by Jono Wells. Drops just outside the ring and a few yards ahead of Tom Cooper doing the fielding. So he's safe, Wells. He's on 4. Matt Short's on 11. 12 down. The Strikers are 3 for 78.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
3 for 78. Chuck Berry is our Western Union expert. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with our app. Mark Bradkey, a.k.a. Xavier Bartlett, is into bowl.
Yeah, a cleaner shaven sort of Mark Bradkey.
Yeah.
There's definitely some similarities, but it probably just needs that cheap wine and the 3-day growth to come on just to be a bit more Bradkey-like.
Into his third over. That's right on the stumps. Wells off the hip, turns it away into square for 1. So I'm wondering who I was thinking of now, because I said at the time, and I was trying to guess.
You thought someone else, did you?
I thought it was. It looks familiar. I don't know who though. It's probably someone obscure.
No,
It's probably some random soccer player I've seen.
I'm staying with Bradkey on my early cry. Short's on strike now.
Got his bat up in the air, Matt Short, up near his ears. Brings it down quickly and clips it into the leg side. Another single.
Jono Wells, busy player. He's going to have to be more than busy tonight. Just a little bit still behind the 8 ball, the Adelaide Strikers.
Yeah, 3 for 80 after just over 12 overs. Matt Short is starting to get a wriggle on. He's 11 off 8, hit 2 boundaries in the last 2 overs. As Bartlett's in, Wells advancing, drives it down to mid-off, and Ben Lachlan has got his approach a little wrong, stumbled over his feet and couldn't bring the throw back in, but they would have been safe anyway as they ran 1.
He did get his approach wrong there. Good call, Jordan, because he came in to field the ball. He's a right-handed thrower, and he actually went down to stop it on the right side, which is a mess, because then you've got to actually turn around your body to stand up to throw. You've got to be able to field on the opposite side to which you throw. So good call by you, Jordan. He did get himself into a mess there, so he couldn't actually execute the run out. Knocked him over.
Bold. Top of off stump. Bales go flying. Matt Short tried to open up the offside. He backed away to the leg side and exposed his stumps, and Xavier Bartlett said, "I'll take that, thank you." Matt Short gone for 12. The Adelaide Strikers 4 for 81. 2 balls to come in the over.
Trouble for the Strikers again. Well bowled Bradkey, the big tool. Centre forward, he just bashed the wicket, knocked the top of the off bail off. And Short gave himself a lot of room trying to slap it, as you said, Jordan, through the offside, but probably didn't bounce as much as he thought it was going to, actually, and just took the off-zinger bail off. That puts the Strikers well and truly on the back foot. And young Nielsen comes to the wicket now. And they need a partnership, and they need one that's productive quickly.
They do. They've still got... these two can still bat a bit. Obviously, Jono Wells is a pretty damn good bat. Harry Nielsen can bat just as well. Sometimes he's a wicketkeeper, but sometimes he does play in sides, be it South Australia or all the Strikers, just as a batsman when Alex Carey has the gloves. So he knows what he can do.
Very fit young cricketer, Harry Nielsen. Just big. It's not swinging as much now, but can be a little susceptible early on, Nielsen, too. He likes to let the ball go. And I'm just worried about his off stump and his front pad here. If Bartlett gets it right, LBW bowled early on.
Bartlett steaming in. He's
too much width.
Yeah, bowling outside off, and Nielsen will drive that into the offside. Finds a fielder, though, and gets 1. So Jono Wells, Harry Nielsen, the 2 batsmen. Rashid Khan is scheduled to be next in. And after that is Dan Worrell coming in at 7 and 8.
Siddle's gone down the order a bit, hasn't he? Siddle's... That's because of Worrell's early... That innings where he slogged him out. Well, didn't slog him anywhere, but he got 60-odd, Dan Worrell.
Yep, against Hobart.
Which is... Peter Siddle's a better player than Dan Worrell.
Bartlett, a bit full of that time, had a bit of swing through the air, away from the right-handed Wells, who picks up 1. And that ends the over. 5 off it, plus the wicket of Matt Short, and the Strikers are 4 for 83 after 13.
Sometimes needing new tyres can catch us by surprise. That's why Tyre Power gives you the power of Zip Pay and Zip Money. It means you can get what you need now, get back on the road safely, and pay for it later, taking advantage of the interest-free periods. So if you need new tyres or mechanical repairs, don't wait till it gets worse. Get them now with Zip Pay or Zip Money at Tyre Power. No fuss, no wait, no worries. Terms and conditions apply. So visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local owner-operator.
4 for 83. That is the current score for Suncorp. That's the Suncorp Spirits. Mujibur Rahman coming in to bowl his final over for the Brisbane Heat. Starts off with a single from Wells into the leg side, down to mid-on for 1.
None for 21, Mujib, in his last over. He'd like a wicket. Anything under 25 is very, very good in the Big Bash. Even under 30, you'll take a tick in your 4 overs. So economy-wise, he's been good, but I think they'd expect him to take a wicket or two, and, gee, they'd dearly love it. If they could have the Strikers 5 for 80-odd, they'd have them in real trouble. So can Mujeeb strike here?
Mujeeb right arm around to the left-handed Nielsen. Tries to drag it into the leg side. Doesn't get much connection as it dribbles through the infield for 1. The run rate's actually dropped a little bit now, below 6.4, so they've really slowed right up the Adelaide Strikers. It's been good bowling from the Brisbane Heat as well. The wickets have come at the right time. And there's no wrong time for a wicket, I guess, either, as Mujeeb into Wells, who flicks it into leg side. Another single.
They need more than singles at the moment, though, the Strikers. They've got to find some boundaries in amongst them.
Do you, at this stage, do you urge your batsmen to take on the bowler, even though they're still fairly new to the wicket? Nielsen facing his third ball here and missing it. Well,
almost cleaned him up there.
Maybe that's what happens when you take on the bowler, is you miss it. He was in his ground. Jimmy Pearson just fumbled the delivery as it came through from Mujeeb. But just missed the edge as well. Nielsen's on 2. Mujeeb bowling. Full delivery, catches the front edge and will squirt away down to third man. It'll race down for 4.
Got lucky there.
Very lucky, Harry Nielsen.
Did not read it at all, Nielsen. He tried to work it into the leg side, and it was actually an off-spinning ball. Took the outside edge. No slip in place. And look at that. Oh, just nicked past Jimmy Pearson's glove. Straight past first slip. So Nielsen gets away with a lucky one there, but the result is a much-needed boundary for the Adelaide Strikers. Last ball of Mujeeb's over.
Into Nielsen again. That one's going down leg side. Flicked away. Short leg is in, and they run 1. That previous boundary coming for the TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind. TAC, 14 down. 4 for 91.
Hey, it's Matt McKeldin. And I'm Steve Johnson. And we're the hosts of The Driver's Seat, Australia's #1 motorsport radio show.
Each week we go through all the big news stories and chat to some of the biggest names in supercars.
Here with Mark Winterbottom. We're pumped, ready to go. Davey Reynolds here.
We've got a Sonic the Hedgehog phone cover.
Jamie Whincup, welcome back to The Driver's Seat.
Feels good to be back. Plus you can catch up and get all the exclusive interviews first on the Driver's Seat app.
Get radio's #1 motorsport show on your smartphone. Thanks to Kubota, building Australia.
One off the Big Bash Nation text line, 0433 98 11 16. The Strikers are really going to miss Alex Carey tonight, I think, says one earlier, which...
I agree with that.
Yeah, you're right. Looking very thin now in the batting lineup. Jono Wells currently out there, 9 off 10. Harry Nielsen will be on strike to face the first delivery of Ben Loughlin's third over. He's 6 off 5, Harry Nielsen, as Loughlan comes in to the left-handed Nielsen off the top edge and ran down to backward point for a dot. Jack Wildermuth, the fielder. So 4 for 91 on the scoreboard for Suncorp. That's the Suncorp spirit. And
below par. Below par.
Well below par.
Current rate 6.4. Not enough normally at the Gabba.
Loughlan bowling. A little fuller this time. He sliced it away, Nielsen, through points. He's safe. No fielder in the vicinity. Gets a single. What are they aiming for here? So we're in the 90s in the 15th over. What can they still get?
150.
Yep.
Which I don't think will be enough.
And they'll have to go very hard for 150.
Rashid Khan can go. I thought he might have come in ahead of Nielsen actually to try to sort of inject and then Nielsen to finish the innings, but they've kept him back. Rashid Khan, who can whack it. Dan Worrell, as we said, look, I don't think he's an accomplished batsman, Worrell, but he's a clean striker of the ball. So they've got a little bit of firepower to come.
Wells needs to start firing. He wanted to there through cutting it to points, but he's missed it. It's gone over the top of his bat, just past the top edge and through to the keeper for a dot.
The last few overs, there's been 3 or 4 dots, and as I said before, I think when you and I have been commentating, Jordan, dots sort of at this stage of the game, they are like little Sovereign Hill gold nuggets. When you go panning for gold up there at Sovereign Hill and not much in the tray, and then you find a little nugget, that's what those dots are like.
On the stumps delivery that time from Loughlan, and it's squeezed away into the offside for 1.
Even 1, yeah, very happy. As a bowling team now, captain, coach, any time that you're filling in your sheet and you're putting dots or ones, that's a big tick. It's only the multiples that hurt and the boundaries. So the Strikers now have almost, in my opinion, got to throw caution to the wind. They've got 6 wickets in hand. They haven't got enough runs. They've got to go.
Lachlan, that one's going down the leg side. Wells,
Good boy.
Nielsen's done very well to follow that one, and that is a 4. That one scorched through the air. A lot of pace off the bat from Harry Nielsen. That's a boundary. Much needed boundary for the Strikers.
Yep, he's got to go. They're behind, and it's in this game, there's no prizes for second, so you'd rather get bowled out going hard for 155 than limp your way to 145. And if they come off, they might get 165.
Last ball, a little slower that time on middle stump, turned away to short leg for a single. So they got the boundary there for the TAC on your phone, driving blind TAC. And now with 5 overs to go, the Adelaide Strikers are 4 for 98.
Visit your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store for all your professional painting needs. With over 230 locations around Australia, you can be confident we have the right tools to help you get the job done. Our trade stores have all the commercial paint and accessories you'll need, as well as the best expert trade staff who are on hand to give great advice and quick service. When it comes to your next paint job, head to your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store.
4 for 98 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp spirit. The last couple of overs have gone 8-7, 5-8-7. And in fact, that's been pretty much the pattern right throughout the innings tonight. In the 15 overs so far for the Adelaide Strikers, the only double-digit over was Ben Lachlan's in the 7th.
And Steckety's in the 4th.
Was that 9? Oh, no, that was 11 as well. I beg your pardon. I've done incorrect maths. You are right there. So the 2 overs that went for double digits.
Not enough. You need at least 6 double-figure overs in a T20 game, at least 6. So, look, that means that there's 5 overs to go. Every one of these has to be a double digit to get them up to something competitive around 150.
Mark Steckety bowling, right arm over to the left-handed Nielsen, trying to drive that through point with
another
bit of a cut, and that's gone over the edge of the bat. Another dot ball. All the numbers tonight for Dulux, proudly brought to you by the Dulux Trade Centres.
I had a bit of a theory, Jordan, when I was coaching in the Big Bash, that for every over you had left in the innings, all right, for every wicket you've got left, you throw caution to the wind. So what I'm saying here, they've got 6 wickets in the shed. They've got to be going hard now. That's a wicket and over. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Again, that's beaten the edge. It's good bowling from Mark Steckety again.
Not such good batting, Harry.
No, he was trying to cut it through point once more, getting down low in a half crouch, and it's just too close to the body.
So 5 overs to go, 6 wickets in hand. It's foot to the floor and get bowled out.
Yep.
Just get bowled out.
Because
you've got to go.
As you were saying in the previous over, singles aren't really doing much either.
No damage at all.
As the batting team, you sort of have to get the singles if there's nothing else, just to get the scoreboard ticking. As Steckety delivers, and this time he connects with the cut shot Nielsen, but there's a fielder out there at deep point to field the one. But yeah, for singles for the bowling team, well, it's not really affecting the run rate. It's just a single.
Yep, as I said, dots and ones are relevant at this stage. When you're driving the game, you are very happy with dots and ones. So Wells is on strike now. He's probably got to come hard.
So 4 for 99 is the current score. And John O'Wells is 10 off 12. Nielsen 13 off 12. Steckety in his 3rd over. Figures of 2 for 15. Good bowling tonight so far from Mark Steckety. Right arm over, full of delivery. It's off the bottom edge of the bat from John O'Wells and rolls down to mid-on for 1. 2 off the over so far with 2 balls to come.
Jason Gillespie'd be steaming, I would have thought, as the hundreds just come up now. So make note of that. 16.4. You're about 3 or 4 overs behind the game, Adelaide Strikers. 16.4. You really want the 100 to tick over around the 13th.
15.4 at its current stage.
Thank you.
Steckety bowling to Nielsen. Gets
a better shot.
Some air in the cut this time, behind point, and gets a 4. Much needed. Every boundary is much needed at this stage. That all has that label. And he gets the 4 for the TAC on your phone, driving blind, TAC. They had it, and then they're past 100 now. 4 for 104 is the current score.
Well, he's had a few shots at that cut shot, Nielsen. He played a missed at the first 2 of this over, but that time was a little bit shorter and he got underneath it.
Nielsen Bit of self-talk as
Watch the
Steckity
ball.
comes in.
Watch the ball, he was saying to himself.
Slower delivery that time from Steckity as well. They'll come back for 2. It's good running in the ends. The throw was a little wayward coming in, so that allowed a few extra yards for Nielsen and Wells to get back for the double. 16 overs, 4 for 106.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
4 for 106 is the current score at the Gabba. Game number 13 of the Big Bash Nation. Jordan Canellis and Darren Berry with you. 0433 98 11 16 on the Big Bash Nation text line. And the power surge is now being taken by the Adelaide Strikers here in the 17th over.
Wondering when they were going to go.
I'd actually forgotten about it.
I kept sort of just putting a little tick there, thinking another one's gone. They've got to take it soon. And I thought they might have waited for Rashid, but I like it because they've got sort of 2 set batsmen now in essence. Nielsen 19 and Wells 11. You want to take it when they have 2 set batters at the crease.
The power play for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. 2 overs of fielding restrictions, and they'll go first here with Wells advancing down the wicket and driving that one through the covers. A great slap shot from Jono Wells and a boundary.
It was a slap shot. Beautifully described. Lachlan again coming in for a little bit of stick.
For the TAC on your phone, driving blind TAC, and Jono Wells gets his first boundary of the night. He's been out there for a little while now, and that's his first 4. And this time a slower delivery down leg side, but he's done well to pull it across.
Oh, he's got him
behind backwards square leg, and that's another 4.
So Benny Lachlan again. We could be seeing the demise of one of the best T20 bowlers of all time. Horrible last game against the Thunder. There's that fast off spinner, but he got his line wrong and easily pulled around behind square leg for 4.
2 fielders out on the leg side for Jono Wells, backwards, or about deep square leg, I would say, and a deepish mid wicket. They're going to shuffle them around now, actually. So I'll bring one of them in. Square leg comes in.
So with this field, just for our listeners, they brought fine leg up, square leg up, and they're going a deep offside field. So Lachlan will try and hit the tram line here with a fast Yorker. He cannot bowl length. He has to bowl full and wide of off.
Lachlan. And hasn't quite got hold of that, Jono Wells. It'll run down to mid-off for a single.
And that's where the tactics and the strategy of the game are so important, to be able to execute the ball that you want with the field you've got deployed. If you try and cover all bases in this format, the players are too good. They'll pick the holes in it. So you've got to be able to give up a quadrant of the game, of the oval, break it into 4, if you like, split it in half and in half the other way, and defend 3 of them and give away a quarter. And that's what he did there. He said, I'm not getting hit to fine leg or square leg. I'm bringing them fielders up. I'll bowl it full and wide of off stump, and that's where I'll stack my fielders. So then it has to go over the fence. Otherwise, it's only a single.
Nielsen facing, left-handed bat, and it's gone right over his head. He's tried to sweep that away into the leg side. And by sweep, I don't mean a traditional sweep. I mean a swat more than anything. And he's
bit of a chimney sweep.
Yes.
A chimney sweep.
Yeah,
an upstairs sweep.
The toe of the bat pointing straight up at the night sky, and he's missed it. Nielsen through to the keeper. Wells on 20, Nielsen on 19.
Now he's got all the offside up and all the leg side out, so he's going to bowl in at his hip here.
To the left-handed bat, Nielsen's coming down the wicket. He's hit the bowler. They'll run back for 1, and Lachlan, he picks up the ball, and
Lachlan is having a nightmare.
He's missed the stumps. So Nielsen came down the wicket. He's driven it back at the bowler. It's hit Ben Lachlan. They've gone for 1 anyway with the ball on the pitch. Lachlan's had to do a quick pick himself up, grab the ball, turn, and he's missed the stumps from about 2 metres away at the bowler's end. Oh, that should have hit the stumps, goodness me.
He threw that from 1.5 metres away, and Nielsen was well short of his ground. Lachlan flicked and missed. Not having a great night, Benny Lachlan, unfortunately. So last ball of the 17th, which is the first of the power surge. They've taken 10 off it. They'd dearly love another boundary here. What's John O'Well's got in store? Will he advance? He will.
Oh, it's going to be wide.
Wide at him.
And swung out outside the offside's blue line. And so another ball will come.
Benny Lachlan's argument is the batsman moved to the offside, therefore I should get more width, and that is true, Jordan. If the batsman goes, you watch, he goes to his off stump, so Lachlan went wider, just went over the blue tram line, and he's saying, oh, hang on a minute, batsman moved.
Took a diagonal step forward into the offside, the batsman, John O'Wells. So a wide, 4 for 117 here, one ball to come.
With the field set, he's got to go there again.
Lachlan is in, right arm over. And this time Wells, he smashes that through the air, over the infield, and a couple of bounces down to the rope for 4.
Got his length wrong and got hit for 4.
Deep extra cover is where the ball went. And he did get the length wrong. Harry Nielsen's on 20. John O'Well's up to 24 after that shot. And the Strikers are 4 for 121.
IMA. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. That means if you're a chippy, IMA's got you covered. And not just you. Insure with IMA and they'll cover your subbies as well. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost, which is great for cash flow. Even better, there's no paperwork. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMA now. That's 134627.
Now the tradies, mate. That's IMA.
A boundary to end that previous over for the TAC. On your phone, you're driving blind TAC. The Adelaide Strikers are 4 for 121. They've got 3 overs to come, so it's going to be a score around the 150 mark. If they're able to keep this pace going, which they've set for themselves now, 15 runs from that first power surge over.
They need another one. They need another 15 here. That's got them back interested at 121.
Yep. Mark Steckety bowling, figures of 2 for 22 as Nielsen has levered that one into the leg side and all the way into the fence for 6.
Good shot. Got underneath that one, Harry Nielsen, beautifully. Good swing of the bat. Steckety disappears over wide mid-on. So they're making a late charge. We're seeing here for the first time in the Big Bash, I reckon, where the power surge is assisting the batting team. Most of the time, wickets have fallen when they've taken the power surge, but this is, 21 off 7 deliveries. Well, there's a wide in the last over, so we'll call it 8.
Steckety bowling again, right arm over. That one's a slower ball on leg stump, and Nielsen can only bunt it into the leg side with a flat bat, parallel to the grounds, single.
Who's going to bowl the last 2 here? Because Lachlan's done, and he normally bowls the death, so that shows they've lost a little bit of faith. Steckety is done now with 4. Majib is done. It's going to have to be Bartlett and Wildermuth to close the innings, I think. Bartlett and Wildermuth.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Interesting. So we've got 16 deliveries left in the Adelaide Strikers innings. 128. It's still, for mine, a fraction unders. But these 16 balls could twist it away.
Steckety in, Wells facing, he chases that one down leg side. It's a very wide delivery. Hits the toes of John O'Wells and they get 1.
Now, tactics here, I love it again. He's gone, Mark Steckety is gone with the Dan Christian method, which is a good method, and not many batsmen have worked out how to score off this. The bowler's going around the wicket. He's bowling the ball at the ankle of the batsman outside leg stump. He's setting the field with 3 men deep on the leg side. It's a very hard tactic to counteract. What do you do?
Steckety charging in, right arm over now to the left-handed batsman. Slower ball again. French cutting off the toe of the bat. Nielsen down to a short leg for 1. That's decent bowling so far, apart from that 6 to start. He's conceded just singles off the next 3 balls. Mark Steckety.
He's going to go back around to John O'Wells. So tactics here, just for our listeners. Right arm around the wicket. Imagine the angle of that ball if you're at home and you're picturing this. It's coming from wide. He's then bowling the ball at the right-handed batsman's ankle. All right, and it's very hard to be able to hit that ball over the offside.
It's all very leg side cricket. He's gone across the face of the batsman, John O'Wells. He's tried to scoop it over the wicketkeeper.
Well done.
Completely missed it and through to the keeper for a dot.
So what he's done there, he's got John O'Wells to play a shot that is not a John O'Wells shot. Wells is an offside player. Mm-hmm. He likes to get leg side of the ball and slap the ball through the offside.
Yep.
So good research, good tactics by the Heat. It forced Wells to go across and try and play a lap shot to find leg, and that's not normally John O'Wells' strength. So he risked the shot, missed it, and the end result was a dot ball.
Last ball of the Steckity over, again down leg side, and Wells just pokes it into mid-wicket, where they'll get at least one, and one is all they'll attempt to get.
The over.
So good over. Apart from the 6 which started it, they conceded 4 runs.
What's that, 10 off?
Yes, off the rest of the over. And so at the end of that, it is 4 for 131.
Visit your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store for all your professional painting needs. With over 230 locations around Australia, you can be confident we have the right tools to help you get the job done. Our trade stores have all the commercial paint and accessories you'll need, as well as the best expert trade staff who are on hand to give great advice and quick service. When it comes to your next paint job, head to your local Dulux Trade Centre or Inspirations Paint Store.
2 overs to come in this innings. It was the Brisbane Heat who won the bat flip and chose to bowl first. The Adelaide Strikers have played into the Heat's game plan. It's 4 for 131. Very modest total at this stage. Still 2 overs to go. They've still got 2 batsmen out there. John O'Wells on 25, Harry Nielsen on 28. But they haven't gone at a particularly great strike rate. They've picked up in the last couple of overs with some more boundaries, but it was just slowly ticking along for the Strikers.
Slower ball.
Wildermuth bowling, and Wells this time is cutting it through point, and they get a single. So at least in the last couple of overs, the run rate has picked up. We were going at about 6.4 for most of the innings. It's now 7.3, and the last 5 overs have gone for 9.6 for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux.
Got to go super hard here, Strikers. There's only 11 balls left. Nielsen's done a good job, but they've got to go. They need another 30 for mine here, and that's going to be very tough. Minimum 20 from the remaining 11 balls to be competitive.
Wildermuth, none for 17 his figures tonight, bowling his last over. That's wide across the face of the left-handed bat, and the umpire agrees.
So not only the run for the wide, then you've got to bowl another one. That's what hurts. He went wide to Nielsen, who opened his front leg to give himself room. As it went past, it was probably right on the line. It looked worse as it got to the keeper, really.
It was bunny hopping all over the wicket as well. Harry Nielsen, that wide bow-legged stance, the position he'd got himself into. 4 for 133 here in the 19th over. Wildermuth, right arm again another to the left-handed bat, another wide. And they run a single as well.
A bit of chaos here.
Geez, overthrows. They don't run on the overthrow, but they run as it bounced off the foot of Jimmy Pearson. So 2 wides from that ball.
So 3 wides in the last 2 balls. Wildermuth searching for that wide ball, just hasn't quite controlled it. And Jimmy Pearson couldn't collect, so that brings a different batter on strike at least. John O'Wells, the right-hander. Just Wildermuth should employ the same Steckity tactics around the wicket, but he's not. He's staying over.
Over to Wells, who clubs it down the ground. Didn't get full connection, but it will roll down to the boundary. There is a fielder coming around. So wasn't able to beat the fields, but they ran 2. Went through the air and just dropped short of the long on and long off fielders coming together. 4 for 137 now. John O'Wells on 28, Harry Nielsen on 28 for the Strikers. Brisbane Heat will be batting in the run chase without Chris Lynn, who was injured in the warm-up only about 15 to 20 minutes before the start of the game. Left hamstring injury for the captain. Wildermuth bowling a little short of that time, and that one's pulled away strongly into the leg side by Wells, but there's a fielder out there to meet that firm shot. A single. So they've tried to go hard, but the Brisbane Heat bowling has been playing right into the fielders.
138. Not enough. No Chris Lynn in the batting charge to reply for the Brisbane Heat.
To Nielsen now.
Has he got it?
Underneath it, a long way in the air, and caught.
He hasn't quite got enough of it.
Caught on the boundary by Ben Lachlan, who has had a bit of a stinker of a night, but he's taken the catch. And so Harry Nielsen must depart. He did go for it. He tried to take on the bowler, Jack Wildermuth, but didn't get enough length, even on the short, straight boundaries. And Nielsen goes for 28 off 20.
When Harry met Jack, that was. Didn't quite meet him enough. Thought off the bat he might have got it. Benny Lachlan perched at that long on boundary, took an easy catch. 5 for 138. And 2 balls left in this over. 8 balls left in the innings. Rashid Khan will come out. Now, Rashid Khan can slap him over the fence. Not a bad knock from Harry Nielsen, in fairness. 28 runs, strike rate 140. Probably did a pretty reasonable job. Even though he had a few dot balls, he got a couple away to the fence. Rashid Khan is unconventional. I love the way he plays. He'll slip over. He'll do something weird, Rashid Khan.
He will.
He'll slap one over point for 6.
Slog sweep,
or
normally.
He could get bowled first ball. That's what he's like.
Yeah.
I love watching him bat.
Nielsen had 3 boundaries and a 6 in his innings. The wicketkeeper put on the gloves for the run chase for the Strikers. And that's the first wicket tonight for Jack Wildermuth, who is bowling here to Jono Wells, who crouches and pulls it away hard into the leg side. And just a single again, bowling straight to the field. 1 ball to come in the over, and Rashid Khan will face it.
What's he going to do, Jordan? Come on, I want your prediction. He'll do something unusual. It won't just be a slap through the covers. He'll go down to lap it, or he'll step away to leg and try and... He's innovative, Rashid Khan.
If it's on his legs, he will try and sweep it. That's his go. Through the air, through square leg.
So they've got 3
hit some big
out.
6s like that before in his career, Rashid Khan.
3 out on the leg side. So they've got a man at 45 and then 3 deep men deployed out on the leg side. 4 in the offside ring, deep cover and a mid-off.
8 runs off the over so far. 1 ball to come. Wildermuth right arm over to Rashid Khan. It's a shorter ball, and he swatted that one down to long on. He got his shoulders all sort of twisted up underneath it. The tail of the bat pointing up at the sky, and he's driven that one down for a single. So 9 off the over, 1 over to come, and the Strikers are 5 for 140.
SEN Track is the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing. And each Saturday you can watch it online. Saturday Trackside is on live stream on the SEN app, on your mobile via Twitch, your computer or smart TV. The banter, the fun, the expert analysis and horse racing tips. Simon O'Donnell, Dave Taggart and co bring it all to the table. Saturday Trackside. Watch the live stream this Saturday. SEN Track, the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
So 1 over to come, and it will be Xavier Bartlett to bowl the last over.
Or Mark Bradkey, as we refer to him.
Mark Bradkey. And Bradkey and Ben Lachlan are setting the field. So 5 for 140 on the Suncorp scoreboard. That's the Suncorp spirit. And Bartlett with 2 wickets tonight. 2 for 14 as he enters his last over. Will be in contention for our Rookie of the Night for MEGT. Your local apprenticeship experts. Call 13MEGT today.
Seatbelts on, Jordan.
Rashid Khan on strike. He's gone for a bit of a walk across the crease and then digs it out and plonks it on down to mid-on for 1. There's a good ball.
5 balls left in the innings. Now, listen to this, George. The worst length you can bowl now?
Full-ish.
The worst length you can bowl is a good length. You do not want the batsman to be able to get under the ball. So you need to be two things here. At the base of the stumps, fast and full at the base of the stumps, or a really big change of slower ball pace. Good length is no good. And that's good length?
That's a good length. And that's caught as well.
Is he taking that? I'm not sure.
Jono Wells has pulled that through square leg. Malenko has taken a big somersaulting catch.
Well, I tell you what, this could be Q in here.
Not even Malenko is sure if he's caught it, though. So let's wait for the replay before we hit the music.
It's not Jack Wildermuth, is it, out there?
No, that's Malenko.
He's come full stretch diving forward. Umpire's not sure. Judge ready on the music. Ready, please, Mr. Music. He wasn't that confident, so they're going to go upstairs. It was a great effort.
Even he wasn't sure if he's... Is that the soft call? No catch?
The soft call is no catch, so we need conclusive evidence to turn this around. That our man, Simon Malenko, I'll tell you what, if he's caught it, Judd, just be ready on the buzzer.
To the naked eye, I thought he'd caught that. So we're looking here at the replays. Fair delivery, front foot's all good.
Bad length. Jono Wells got under it.
Pulled it into the leg side, square leg. Malenko was looking at it for a while. Ooh, nah, it's short.
Bounce short, so don't push the button, Judd.
No.
Don't push the button, unfortunately. That's about the first time we've seen him tonight, by the way.
It is.
Judd pushed the wrong button earlier when Jack Wildermuth took the bloody catch.
And he told him to.
I didn't say anything about that. Dav and I dropped him in it tonight. So the result of that is 1 run, is that right? Don't he get 1 run?
I think so, yeah.
Should have kept running. Should have kept running while they were going upstairs. Still run. The ball's still alive, isn't it? Keep running.
So the official call coming back.
I've lost the plot here. Is that 2 singles off the first 2 balls, or is that... Have you got 2 balls bowled, George, on your score sheet? That was the second ball, wasn't it?
Yes.
2 singles.
Yep.
Oh, they ran it 2.
They ran 2, okay.
No, they didn't, because Rashid's on strike. They've stuffed that up. How did they...
Maybe the scorekeepers have got it wrong.
Do you know what I mean? Wells was the one that hit it, so it can't be 2.
Maybe they ran 3.
Bit of confusion here. Now they fixed it.
Yes,
See, we were right,
go.
George. We were right. Never second guess.
So they did run one. That previous ball was a wide. This one is being pulled away into the leg side by Rashid Khan. Bounces up to the fielder on the rope for a single.
Xavier Bartlett, very impressive. 2 for 18, Mark Bradke off 3.3.
Mm-hmm. Very impressive.
3 balls to close out this innings. Strikers searching for 150 to have a pulse. Not normally enough at the Gabba, but repeating, Chris Lynn is out of the Brisbane Heat lineup with a hamstring in the warm-up.
3 balls to come. Bartlett is in. Oh, he's flicked that one through the air, Jono Wells, and that will be caught.
Lawrence.
Dan Lawrence, the Englishman, has taken the catch.
Well bowled. Full, hard to get underneath the ball. All Wells could do was scoop it up because the length and the trajectory of the ball was going at the base of the stumps. A low full toss is not the worst ball. It's hard to execute. Wells had to go. He flipped it in the air. Lawrence took the catch at mid-wicket.
Yeah, rolled the wrist through it, and at deep mid-wicket, Dan Lawrence, who has also been pretty absent in the field tonight, like Simon Malenko, but he's taken the catch there, and Jono Wells out for 31. The strikes to come, and Xavier Bartlett's taken 3 wickets tonight.
Oh, big tick for him. He's now, what is it, the
MEGT Rookie of the Day.
MEGT Rookie. Just wrap it up and take it home, Bradke. What do we got? Frankie Worrell. Sir Frank's come to the wicket. He won't be on strike, though. Batsmen have crossed, so Rashid Khan could do anything. He could do a somersault here, Rashid Khan.
He's gone down the ground with a big hit. It's gone past the fielders and will get to the rope.
Good result.
That is a good result. Rashid Khan hits a boundary for the
Bad
TAC
field.
on your phone, driving blind TAC.
Bad field for the ball that he bowled. He executed a nice ball. He bowled a full ball on off stump. It wasn't the worst ball, but he had the mid-off up. So that is actually poor execution of where he had the field. Strange tactics, that one. He's got that one wrong.
Rashid Khan up to 7, and he'll face the last ball of innings here. Xavier Bartlett, right arm over to the right-handed Rashid Khan, full of delivery. It's swirled away into the leg side and will get down to Tom Cooper on the boundary.
Got 2.
And they get 2 off the last ball. So they do break the 150.